Hi everybody, in the last few videos I've been talking about Joshua chapter 5 and chapter 6. Today I want to talk about it again. I got to the bit yesterday where I said that we had to wait for God to give us the command, the strategy, and then wait for him to action it and to tell us to action it. Well, today I want to talk about when they were going round the walls, and it jumped out at me at verses 13 and 14 of Joshua 6. It says they walked round for a day, a whole day, and then went back to the camp. And then it says they walked round for the second day, and then they went back to the camp. They walked round for the third day, went back to the camp. They walked round for the fourth day, went back to the camp. They walked round for the sixth day, went back to the camp. And what I've put down here in the notes of my Bible is, be ready to war waiting, as I said yesterday, but also be sure it will be boring. And the day when it happens, when finally God does the thing he's promised, may not seem any different from any other day. On day 7, they didn't get up and Joshua say, right guys, today's the day. He got up, they got up, and he probably said, come on guys, we're walking around again. And I'm sure they thought, oh, for goodness sake. You know, I used to, when I was younger, the missionary society I worked for used to have things donated, and sometimes we got so fed up of eating the same thing day in, day out, or the cabbages we grew in the garden. Cabbage again. Mundane, absolutely boring, and people would complain. And like the people in Israel, when the manna came from heaven, they said, oh, this is great first of all, but then, oh, for goodness sake, manna again? Manna again? And they missed the miracle that God was providing for them day and day and day and day. Daily life can seem so mundane. Waiting for God's promises can seem so mundane. Be aware it's going to be boring. But our job is to get up and to worship and to wait and to remember the day it happens will be like any other day. Just like Jesus said, the day he comes back will be like a thief in the night. There's not going to be a massive sign, but he is going to get the glory and he is going to do his will. So if you're waiting and if it seems boring, please take encouragement. It was boring for Joshua too, but if he'd have given up, he'd never have seen those walls fallen. If he'd have given up, he'd never have taken over Ai next. If he'd have given up, he'd never have got into that promised land. There is so much that wouldn't have happened if he gave up, and there's so much that will not happen if you give up. Because when God gives a promise, he gives a strategy to get that promise. Because God works with us because we're human. When he made Adam, he gave him a brain, he gave him a job, he gave him a purpose. The same for Eve. Because we need purpose. We need to work with God. He even got Adam to the place where Adam knew that none of the animals were suitable, and then he said, okay, I'm going to put you to sleep and do a greater work. When he woke Adam up, he allowed Adam to name Eve the same as Adam had named the animals, because Adam was to have some kind of authority. As humans, we have authority, we have free will. God wants to work with us. But if we give up, then we lose out, we miss out. And we're not fighting for the glory of God. Because the key to a victorious life as a Christian is to be obedient. God's love language is obedience. I heard that said on a Soul Survivor video recently. The way we show God we love him is being obedient. And it's also the way that we have a victorious life, because God knows how the universe was made. He knows how these things are going to happen. He knows what your part is, and he jolly well knows what his part is too, and he will fulfill it. But get up, keep going with these mundane things, keep listening, do only what he tells you. As Mary said when he changed the water into wine, whatever he says, do it. It's not do it and do a load of other things as well. Just do that. Just do what he says. Just wait on him. The day is coming. Take care.